ruminating.
But it kind of it doesn't sound that bad when you kind of write it down.
No?
But it's it feels. I mean, you know, it is dreadful place to be.
Yeah,
dreadful place to be. I mean,
I put dreadful down there, basically. That's how it feels. Okay. So at the lowest end, you've got this kind of dreadful, depressed, worried.
Yeah,
state.
You constantly kind of ruminate. Have I done the right things? Have I done?
Yeah.
Awful kind of thing. Awful place to be.
Yeah. Okay. Awful place. Yeah. And then at the other end, you've got your manic, the most extreme manic side, which, well, how extreme does that get?
It's certainly in the past incredibly extreme to the point of you know, believing that I have, you know, kind of links to you know, God and supreme beings and things like this, and you know, quite prepared to demonstrate those links by, you know, perhaps taking my own life. So not in a way that, you know, I want one in my life, but to demonstrate that because of those links I will be reborn.
Right. Yeah. So believing you're linked to God, wanting to act on that. Your mood is
incredibly self-assured, incredibly confident that I know that this is the case. So I guess I spend lots of time down here procrastinating. Is this the right thing to do?
Right.
You know, literally, ruminate. Should I do this? Don't know. But at this point, I know exactly.
Yeah. So confident.
I could literally predict the lottery numbers.
So you're kind of really uncertain and.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we did have this on a continuum and we had 0 at your most dreadful, awful state, and 100 at your most manic state.
Yeah.
Okay. That leaves a whole lot of space in between.
Yeah.
Could you tell me where you would put yourself at the moment, like how you're feeling right now?
I guess I'm kind of somewhere around here.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to pinpoint, I guess.
Yeah. Roughly a number for that? Or?
25 to 30. It normally feels as though it's more of a phased kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you want to fill this in, or do you want me to carry on filling it in?
No, you must go.
Is that what you prefer? Or?
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to do it?
It's up to you, actually.
Go on. Look as though you want me to do it.
Okay, so what would you call that point there at 25 to 30? What kind of words would you use to describe it?
Well, I guess I usually tend to feel miserable.
And that's how you feel now?
I don't feel buoyant. I don't feel happy. I don't feel
not
joyous.
happy.
Yeah. But I don't feel this, sense of despair. I just feel a bit, it's more down.
Okay.
So I don't find myself crying. I don't find myself sobbing or anything like that. But I don't feel, I don't feel happy. So it's almost an absence of things.
Do you want to put not happy then in there, just so it becomes clear?
But you see what I mean? That's kind of it is that almost absence of things. I'm not dreadfully miserable, but I'm not happy. It's kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you want to put some absence of things?
Absence of things.
Yeah. And
absence of emotion.
Yeah. And talking about your reserved side, is that also part of this?
Yeah, certainly here I'm pretty reserved.
Yeah. Anything else that was?
I don't do a great deal, but maybe sit home and watch the TV.
Yeah.
I don't go out a great deal. Certainly at work, I'm fairly quiet kind of individual.
So should we put don't
I suppose I am working. So at this phase I wouldn't be working, and this phase I wouldn't be working. But so typically here I would be, which is good.
Yeah. So working, but not going out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just feel that sums it up now. That state.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing you talked about was at Christmas. I just wondered how. You talked about going high then.
Yeah.
How high did it get up here? Again, if we can look at it from 0 to 100.
It's a tough one in a way. And it's one of those things that at the time we were worried I was here. But kind of looking back in hindsight, was I just being happy? Because it didn't end up going there. And it was a real tough one to call, so I find it really hard to plot in here.
Should we put like a circle then around it to show, how...
Yeah, a bit of a spread in somewhere.
Yeah, let's put a circle around, it's kind of how far it could be. And then we can put numbers to that.
Kind of there.
Yeah. So what is that, about 80 to 90 is it, or bigger than that? Or?
70 to 90.
Yeah, 70 to 90, okay. And could you fill that in with a few things that help you notice it, so how you're feeling at those times and what you're doing?
So I was starting to feel kind of, so one of the things was I never spent.
Yeah.
And in terms of that spending, I actually kind of felt some enjoyment from it in some way,
Enjoyment, yeah.
But there's still that bit of ambivalence of, oh Christ, should I be kind of thing. So frequently down here I just wouldn't enjoy it, I typically wouldn't do it. So there's that element of enjoyment, but still a bit of ambivalence.
Okay.
Whereas I know that if I reach this point, the ambivalence wouldn't be there. It'd be
totally confident, like you said there. Yeah. Okay.
So I was drinking a bit more.
Yeah.
So I probably was actually socialising a bit.
Yeah. So how extreme did it get here then? Does that sum it up, or were there things that were like what we've got here on 100 or something approaching that? What's the most extreme we got?
Well, I suppose, I guess one of the things is that I felt as I did have more ideas that felt more interesting. So down here I spend a lot of time just kind of ruminating on bills and retirement and what's the garden like and stuff like that. Very practical, very concrete stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas here I was starting to think, wouldn't it be nice if kind of thing. I started to have a bit, I suppose I was kind of almost allowing myself to kind of dream about stuff in a way, what if kind of thing. So different ideas were certainly coming into mind, much more so than I tend to have at this phase.
So you were kind of thinking about your ideas and your dreams.
Yeah.
How extreme did that get?
I don't think it got to the point where I started to believe that I had links to some kind of deity or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they were almost fantasies, if you will. Wouldn't it be nice if, kind of thing.
Okay, and in this one, just so I can try and get the difference in these. You talked about being really confident, believing these things and acting on them.
Yeah.
In terms of acting on things, you've got about spending more here and socialising. Does that sum it up, or are there things that you were doing around this 70 to 90 that...
Well, I suppose the things that I was doing was I was actually allowing myself time to do this one.
Yeah.
There's another thing that I was doing.
Yeah, so time spent in this fantasy.
Engaging in those kinds of thoughts that...
Yeah. And how long would you...
It's difficult to say. I mean, it was, just literally in the car I might find myself kind of engaging in those kinds of things rather than, it's like you drive the same route and you kind of, very frequently your mind can wander or whatever. And so I'd find myself on those kinds of occasions or, drifting off to sleep or stuff like that. I maybe My sleep probably wasn't quite as good as it was.
Okay, do you
During
want
this
to
time.
put that down? Yeah. So how much were you sleeping per night then?
Probably probably about 5 hours a night.
5 hours, yeah. And you sleep at 100? How much are you sleeping then?
Very rarely.
Not at all, a few hours. Or
Yeah, a couple of hours, and some nights without any.
so if you
So-
put that
so-
down, a couple of hours almost. Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else about this 70 to 90 range at Christmas that...
I suppose the important factor is that, you know, at one point we initiated medication. So, you know, I suppose if we're thinking about it kind of along here, probably about here we started, you know.
How did you know that was the time to initiate medication?
Well, that's a tough call. And did we get it right? And the thing that I've kind of left really kind of struggling with is actually, was I just enjoying Christmas?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
And what I think is, it really worries me. So, what I'd love to be able to do is feel happy, is feel those emotions without that fear of it's going off again. And without the fear in the family of thinking,
Yeah,
okay,
so your
Paul's-
fear and their fear.
and the family's fear, absolutely, oh Christ, Paul's, you know, what happened last time, he kind of, you know, all had that loose, and it was really difficult.
And is that what the middle ground that you talked about, what you're telling me there?
This big middle ground here
Yeah.
is where I'd love to be,